To the audience right now, the subject at hand is that there's been a little bit of confusion, even though it's now close to a year that this was brought in, and that is that this commission-only methodology that was used in some parts of Australia, there's law now in place. Let's clear it up. Is it illegal to be paid commission only?
No, but there are a number of rules that must be met before a salesperson can be a commission-only salesperson. And what we need to clear up right from the word go is this is a national award that came out on the 2nd of April 2018 and covers every state. So all of the previous state awards are all gone. So now commission only is legal right across the country, right? But for me, so I want to come and work for Tom Panos Real Estate, and I want to be a commission-only salesperson because traditionally a commission-only salesperson is going to get a higher cut of commission because they're supposedly a good operator. Firstly, they have to be at least 21 years of age.
Yes.
Right? They must have a real estate licence certificate or be registered. Well, that goes without saying. You shouldn't be selling unless you are. They must be employed initially as a salesperson and agree in writing to be engaged as commission only.
Right.
So that would be in a standard employment agreement.
Yes.
They must have been a salesperson for at least 12 months in the previous 3 years in the industry.
Yes.
Right? They must get paid a minimum of 31.5% of the gross commission. So that is the total amount received by the agency with no deductions.
Yes,
right?
a clear 31 out of the 100.
That is the minimum.
Yeah.
That is the minimum. And look, I'm not here to talk about what is the right rate because every agency is different. Okay. This is the new thing that's come in. They must meet what's called the minimum income threshold test, which is they have to earn in a 12-month period 125% of the award rate of a salesperson. And that equates to $52,733.
So 52,000 equates to 125% of the award.
Of the award for a standard salesperson. Okay.
So what you're saying is if you're commission only, you still have to, in a 12-month period, end up taking 52,700.
Yeah, home. Now, and it has to be reviewed every 12 months. So at the end of this 12 months, it's reviewed and you only earn 50,000 for the year, you revert back to being a debit credit salesperson. Okay.
Got you. Can I ask you, what would I do if I left the office and my old boss refuses to pay my commission?
If you needed to make a claim for your commission or any other work entitlements, that would be through Fair Work Australia or the Federal Circuit Court, which is the old Federal Magistrates Court. One of the really interesting things here, though, is that if an employer refuses to pay on time, and this happens all the time, the employer gets narky because somebody's left, they get peeved off because they've trained you up and you've gone to a competitor, so they refuse to pay you any outstanding entitlements. What that does is repudiates the employment agreement. What that means is the employer cannot enforce any restraints against you. You still have duties of fiduciary and not disclose confidential information.
That's critical information.
It is huge. And it's like the first thing, I know most of my clients are generally the employer, and the first thing I will say, pay them their damn money, because otherwise you've lost all your rights.
Oh man, I'm just thinking to myself, you're worrying about the cents when it's going to cost you dollars. You're worrying about 10 grand.
Right, yeah. It's silly. It is absolutely silly.
Okay, any employer that's watching this, I hope that's a bit of a wake-up call. Things to look for in an employment agreement?
If you're an employee, you should always have an employment agreement because it sets up your rights. They're not one-sided. They make it clear what's confidential information, what allowances you will receive, what your commission structure will be. Because if you have to go to court or to Fair Work to get your money back, or if you've been unfairly dismissed, you have to have an employment agreement to be able to show what your conditions of employment are. Things to look out for is, obviously, what's the restraint of trade clause? other things they need to look at is what training. Not every employment agreement says this, but what's the requirements for continuing professional development? What other benefits? Car allowances, telephones, commission entitlements. They all need to be looked at. Other things that people overlook is, what are the office policies? Are they attached to the employment agreement? Things like, what is confidential information? Do I have access to all of the database, or do I only get access to certain parts? And, this is the biggie, what is the...
That concludes the free video. As you can see, there are a number of ways that you can be successful in real estate, and the Real Estate Gem is basically making sure that we find everything that every top agent in the country is doing to be successful. Real Estate Gem members get all their tools, templates, all their scripts, all their information so they can design their own personal system to success. Just go to realestategem.com.au.